We have a two-time ancient event this weekend. I really don't know how to feel about it. Hello everybody, my name is Lamby Plays. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends. And yes, this time we have a two times ancient shard event going on this weekend, which just means the same as when we did our voids. We have a two times chance, a double chance of receiving epic or legendary champions from our ancient shards. And when I spoke to my clan about this, I told them I don't know what to expect with these shards, but I think the new fusion champs are in the pool, so we're gonna pull from these shards and we're gonna see what we're gonna get. We're gonna hope we can get some of these fusion champs. I will have a review of the fusion champs out probably the day after or 2 days after this video goes live, so be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be awesome because these new champions are really cool. But without further ado, I've got 16 ancient shards on my own account. I've got a couple of other accounts that I can go to, a couple of clan members and friends who allow me to pull shards from their accounts for this video. But we're gonna start off. I have 16 ancient shards. Let's see what happens. I don't have space. I'm gonna go make space in my champs. I'll be back in 1 sec. Let's feed. Okay, space has been made. See, this video is non-scripted. This is all out of my head. I could not have planned that better. That is perfect. Let's go. Let's pull the first 10 shards. I'm literally gonna sit and I'm gonna close my eyes. I can't watch. I don't want to see this. Is it okay? Can I open my eyes now? Ooh. Okay, we have a bunch of dupes. Like, all of these rares are dupes, but we do have Crimson Helm. I've never had a Crimson Helm, so this is a new one for me. Sucker Punch, your A1 attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 1 turn. Vile Tongue attacks 4 times at random. Each hit has a 95% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Places a block damage buff on this champ for 1 turn. That block damage is kind of nice. On guard, her A3 places a revive on death buff on and a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. That is not bad, and she has a nice aura as well. HP for all allies in dungeons by 33%. That's not bad. I'm not gonna complain. I've never had a Crimson Helm, so at least we got a new champ. That's good. Let's see what happens. We've got another epic in here. We've got Haikatoon. Haikatoon, of course, is a Daily Roar champion. I am not going to go through her kit again. Everyone knows Haikatoon by now. Abyssal was part of the previous fusion event. Still getting those champions. They still are part of the pool. Slither Brutes, okay. Not exactly something to be excited about. We've got another one. We have Chaplain. Okay. Nothing to be excited about. We have Hospitalia, and last shard that I have is an epic, and it is Excruciator. This is a new epic for me. I do not have this champion. Let's go through her kit quickly. Flicker Strike attacks one enemy. Damage increases by 20% while attacking under a Veil buff. Heals this champion by 25% of the damage inflicted while attacking without a Veil. Okay. Her A2 Ascendant skill attacks one enemy. Goodness me, let's read this. Damage increases by 35% while attacking under a Veil buff. While attacking under a Veil, enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. That's very nice. That's a nice revive blocker there. While attacking without a Veil, fully depletes the target's turn meter and fills this champion's turn meter equal to the amount the target loses. Can only decrease the turn meter by up to 50% against bosses, and this cannot be resisted. On a 3-turn cooldown, that is a nice attack. Invisible Predator places a Veil buff on this champion for 1 turn at the beginning of each round. Nice. Very, very nice. I think she can be a very decent champion. I don't know much about her, but I think she can be very, very decent. I think with these 2 attacks, like only having 2 attacks, a Relentless set can work very, very well for her. Yeah, I think we can. I'm definitely gonna build her. I will do a review on Excruciator. Give me like a week or so to build her up, and I will do a free-to-play review on Excruciator, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, those are my 16 ancient shards, and really the only Plarium. Thank you. I needed that. What do we get here? Oh, Slitherboot is a new rare for me. Okay. Attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of, what's that, 50% chance of placing a decreased speed. Debuff for 2 turns. We have attacks one enemy and steals 1 random buff. That's guaranteed buff steal. That's nice. Attacks one enemy, decreases the target's turn meter equal to the amount of buffs on the target. I wonder how that works. And an accuracy in dungeons by 40. That is not a bad champion, not gonna lie. And then of course now we have Crimson Helm, and we also have Excruciator here. So that's my 16 blues. That's the 16 that I had. So we're gonna jump over to my dear friend and clanmate Hurricane's accounts multiples, and let's see what we can pull for him. Maybe we get something good. Alrighty then, here we are on Cheap Vodka's account again. Once again, Hurricane allowing me to use his account for some shard pulls. Can we just appreciate this man's got 4 sacred shards? Not 1, 4. Ugh. I feel offended. So offended. Okay, but he has 30 instant shards for us to pull. Hopefully this time I don't have to go and make space. Let's pull the first hit. Let's see what happens. I'm literally gonna close my eyes again. Okay. Maeve. Excuse me. I didn't mean to make that noise out loud, guys. I do apologize. Okay, that was the only space we had. Let me go and clear some space, and we'll be back in 1 second. No, I don't want. These are 3-star chests. No, can't do that. Gotta go further now. 2 stars. Alright, now these are 3 stars. Alrighty then, space has been made. Let's go again, closing my eyes. I do so dislike pulling shards. Ooh, we've got Ugo, and we do have missionary. Missionary, yuck. Ugo, good champ. If you haven't seen Ugo yet, this is a really fantastic champion. Her A1 Black Hand attacks one enemy, has a 35% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns, and this chance increases by 5% for each enemy alive, so if she goes against a team of 4, that is a nice little 55% chance. Her A2 Maelstrom Whack, what a name though. Attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance when booked of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns, also has a 75% chance of placing a block buffs debuff for 2 turns, and this chance of placing that block debuff increases by 5% for each enemy alive, so that can go up to a beautiful 95% chance when she faces off against 4 other enemies. Really nice. And then her A3 Ugo's Brew removes all heal reduction debuffs from all allies, then removes 1 random debuff from all allies, and then heals all allies by 20% of this champion's max HP. If all allies are dead, revives them with 50% HP, then fills their turn meter by 50% instead. Holy crap, that is one amazing champion. And then of course she has a passive, Final Spite, places a 30% increased speed buff and a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn whenever this champion's last living ally is killed. If she's the last one on the line, she's gonna have that increased speed and the block damage buff for 1 turn, allowing you to bring this Ugo's Brew in and bring your champs back. That is a fantastic ability. Sorry about that, guys. Made a bit of a boo-boo there. Okay, and another 10. Farrakeen the Fat. Let's see. I do not know Farrakeen's kit, so let's see quickly. Sizzling Strike attacks 1 enemy, has a 40% chance of placing a 60% decrease defense debuff, 50% chance when booked, for 2 turns. A2 Brand of Shame attacks 1 enemy, has a 100% chance when booked of placing an HP burn debuff and 2 5% poison debuffs for 2 turns. Really good. I think against someone like the clan boss, this can be really nice on a 3-turn cooldown. That can be really nice. Beat down the A3 places a 30% increased crit rate buff and a 30% increased crit damage buff on all allies except this champion for 3 turns. Then all allies except this champion will attack one target enemy. That's going to be really effective against bosses, I think, on a 4-turn cooldown. And then his Ascendant skill deflects 20% of all incoming damage this champion receives onto allies. This damage will spread equally across all allies, so he only takes so that is what, 9%? Oh shucks, 20% divided by 3, I don't even know. It's like 7% of the damage that he's supposed to take is going to go onto each enemy or each ally. Not a bad skill. Not a bad skill. I'm not unhappy about that. I don't know how he's going to feel about this, but I love Farakin the Fat. That's a good champion for me. And I do love Ugo. Ugo is an amazing champion. One more Ancient Shard is going to deliver Hospitalia. Okay, so none of the dwarves that he was looking for, and if I check the index, none of these champions were new, but I got to show you guys 2 new champions. Now he has another 2 accounts with Ancient Shards that he said we can pull some champions from. So you know what, give me 1 sec, I'm gonna log into the other one, we're gonna change over, and let's see what happens, right? We got 2 more to go and pull. Okay, I was mistaken. It's only 1 other account. This is Hurricane's original, his own account. As you guys can see, there are 700 gems and 45 million silver on this account. But okay, only 12 Ancient Shards. We're gonna pull all 12 of them, see what happens. Hopefully on this one we might get something good. Let's, like, I'm holding fingers, thumbs, toes, tongues, everything that I can. Yeah. Deacon Armstrong though, and Armina though, I would kill for these champions on my own account. Oh my gosh. Let's review them quickly. Deacon Armstrong, support based epic champion from the Sacred Order. His A1 Mace of Contempt attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. His A2 Sweeping Retribution attacks all enemies, has a, what's that, and shit, a 100% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. And then his A3 Ascendant skill fills the turn meters of all allies by 15% and decreases the turn meters of all enemies by 15%. And the important part, the big part, grants an extra turn on a 3-turn cooldown. Really good skill, and an aura speed battles and speed in all battles by 19%. Can be really nice if you don't have a speed lead in arena already. Can be a nice arena lead, but that decreased defense on his A2 on a 3-turn cooldown, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And time compression itself is a really nice ability. Armina, absolutely OP. First of all, I love the aesthetic that's going on here. Absolutely fantastic. Let's look at Armina's kit quickly. Discipline Staff attacks one enemy, has a 45% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Her A2 Trampling Rampage attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns, and steals 7.5% of the turn meter from the targets who are already under decreased defense debuffs. Her A3 Ear Splitter Bellow decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 20%, has a 100% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn on enemies who have their turn meters fully depleted. Awesome ability. And then she has an ascendant skill, a passive, fills this champion's turn meter by 10% each time an enemy receives a stun debuff. So imagine she places 4 stuns on her A3. That is a 40% turn meter increase. That is fantastic. Armina, just an amazing champion. We have 2 more ancient shards. We're gonna pull them one by one. Let's see what happens. Most likely we're only gonna get blues with these. We've got another apothecary, like we didn't pull apothecary before. Apothecary, absolutely SS tier champion, viable in endgame, really good support champ. I cannot speak more highly of Apoth than that. And another one, we've got another blue. We have Fleshmonger. It's Fleshmonger. I have nothing more to say about Fleshmonger. Thank you, Plarium. We'll rate the game later, I promise. Let me just see what are actually new champions for him. That would be oh goody, clicked the wrong button. Deacon Armstrong is a new champion on this account for Hurricane. That is fantastic. I'm really happy about pulling a new champion for him. Nothing else is new, so Deacon Armstrong is the new champ. I love doing that. Awesome champion. Getting Deacon Armstrong and Armina on the same day with the pull, really nice. Unfortunately, not being able to get one of the new fusion champs, but that's besides the point. Let's jump back to my own account and let's end off this video properly, shall we? Alrighty then, we are back on my own account, my own Lambie account. Nothing has changed, really. Nothing's changed. Still the same day this time. I didn't wait until like, I don't know, 4 days after to to do stuff. I just want to check out the packs. They do have a double ancient pack and a special ancient pack. I have a Warrior Sokol pack that's 15 bucks. I would love to get this, but nope, I don't have $15. That's besides the point. Okay, so there are more ancient shards available. I mean, that's what's that, $65 for another 38 ancient shards. I don't know what the value of that is. So there are packs available. Obviously, I'm not buying any packs, as always, guys. I don't buy packs. I don't get paid for this. I do this because I love it. So let me end off with a couple of notes. I'm gonna end this with a lot of the same notes that I had for my void shards. If it's not absolutely necessary to pull your ancient shards, hold them until you come by an event like this, that you have a 2x event. And not only a 2x, but we also have the summon, what's this, a summon rush champion chase tournament, where your shards are going to have more value to you than just randomly pulling a shard, you know, because now my shards actually have a chance of getting me the champion fragments that I want for the fusion champs. Again, the fusion video will be coming out possibly in a day or two from the release of this video. So hold on to your shards until you get an event like this where you can actually pull those shards and they have a little bit more value. And don't mistake an ancient shard just because it's not like a sacred shard. Don't mistake the value of that ancient shard. Ancient shards can be extremely valuable, like you saw now. I mean, pulling Armina and Deacon Armstrong and Ugo from ancient shards is really good. And yes, I have in the past, if I go onto my own champion index here, I can show you guys I pulled Roshar the Tower, I pulled Roxam off ancient Roxam I pulled off a sacred last time, but I pulled Roshar the Tower off a sacred shard, an ancient shard. I pulled the Tomb Lord, I pulled off a sacred an ancient shard. I pulled Little Miss Annie and Bloodgorged off ancient shards. They were not sacred shard pulls. So don't mistake it. Just because it's an ancient shard, don't think that it's not worthy of waiting for a 2-time event or a 10-time event. I will prefer a 2-time event over anything else. You know, so wait for it. Keep it there. It can sit there. It can sit there. It's gonna burn a hole in your pocket, I know, but ignore it. Play the game. Play the game. Wait for this 2-time. The rotations of these shard events are really predictable, actually. So wait it out, and just wait until you get that event. Pull that shard, then let it be worth more to you, and hopefully you get some better champs than just a rare. Because yeah, let's face it, the epic and the legendary champs are more difficult to build, but I think at the end of the day, 90% of the time they are going to be more useful to you, except if you're like me and you use Frozen Banshee in Clan Boss on Nightmare level. That's besides the point. And then one final thing, I wanted to bring one complaint to you guys at the end of this video. I'm gonna pop into the portal here. I want to show you guys the fusion here brings in a brand new legendary dwarf champion and 4 fusion champions. Now this is 5 new champs. I believe 3 months ago we had another 5 or 6 champs that were released, and the thing I have against this, do not misunderstand, I love the fact that Raid is constantly bringing in new champions into the game. That's great, but there's a caveat here, there's a negative here. It dilutes the player pool. It dilutes the champion pool for us. When you pull shards, it dilutes the pool so much. A champion that I would really love to get is Coldheart. I complain about this every time. Every time we have Void events, I'm looking for Coldheart. But the more they're bringing in more Void champs, the more they're bringing in better champions and just more champions, the more you have the chance of pulling something that you don't necessarily want, or in my case need. It's a case of there are so many champions that you can pull already, and they're just adding and adding and adding. It's getting more and more and more, and your chances of pulling these champions are getting less and less and less. You know, so it's very complex. It's such a big issue right now. It's something that I'm running into. It's something that bothers me. You know, if you feel differently from me, please feel free, drop it in the comments below. Tell me I'm being an numpty, but it's okay. For me, it really dilutes the champion pool, and it's a big issue right now. Your pulls are not targeted. It's very random, so you get a lot of dupes, especially at lower ranks. So your chances are just getting smaller and smaller of getting the really good champions that you want. So that's my rant, my complaint at the end of this video, but thank you guys so much. We at least got a couple of good pulls. Yes, they were dupes for Hara. For me, I did get Crimson Helm. I am not angry about getting Crimson Helm. Yes, it's not necessarily my best, and I'm really excited about the Excruciator though. I'm really excited about building her up and seeing what she can do. I think it's going to be fantastic to build her up and to see what she is capable of. And of course, pulling Ugo, pulling Armina, pulling Deacon Armstrong for Hara on his account. Fantastic video. I'm really happy about the champs that we got when it came to the epics. Sad that we didn't get a legendary or one of the new fusion champs, but you can't have all the luck in the world. So thank you guys so much. Hit that like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the video with someone if you want to annoy them. You know, feed the YouTube algorithm. It always helps a whole lot. Yeah. Oh right, yes, I have a way that I end videos, don't I? I do. Thank you guys so much for joining on this video, and until next time, please remember, whatever you do out there, stay safe, stay classy, do stay out of trouble, don't do anything that the sheep won't, and until I see you guys next time, please remember that the grass is always greener where you water it. And until that video comes, have a good one, everyone.